Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Can you tell it's my last reading of the day? Oh my goodness. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Okay. And so, my goodness, we have some powerful symbols here. Yeah. And the card for the reading is the Chariot. Also a powerful symbol. And let's see, kind of lost in all of this. Okay. All right, let's start right here. We have, and it looks like a person with a sword kind of riding on some kind of like a horse, but the horse looks like it's almost laying down, doesn't it? But this feels like a sense of trying to conquer, right? It's like holding something up. I feel like there's like a sense of like I've conquered, but but it's almost too much, right? Being a little bit too boasting, a little bit too ahead of oneself, right? It has not come all the way together, but already I got this. It's already, in the books. But I see the horse. It looks like the horse is like kind of just falling out behind or, below the legs there. So it almost seems like a symbol of kind of, slowing your roll a little bit. Not getting too ahead of yourself. Taking some time with things. Maybe some baby steps, and if you are in a place where things really are coming together, which, awesome. That's wonderful. And, the Chariot energy is all about that hard work. Really, kind of nose to the grindstone in a lot of ways. But the thing is that we have to temper ourselves. We have to pace ourselves. And, if we go too hard with things, it's going to start falling apart. We get into that place of just, the full, entropy takes place. The things just start, we going too fast. Oh gosh, yesterday I was telling my husband about this morning. I was reading my daughter this little reader about the Icarus story. And if you know the Icarus story, it's Icarus and his father. They're in the tower. They have to escape, and they build these wings, these kind of wings to fly. And of course Icarus was young and he's excited and he flies too close to the sun, and then he gets burnt up. Well, in this story, usually they make it a little softer than that. Well, in this one, it just is like, oh, and then, the father looks down and all he could see on the ocean waters is all of these little feathers, but no Icarus. And my daughter was like, well, where did he go, Mom? She's 3, by the way. And I was like, well... he got a little too close to the sun there. He just got a little crispy. So we have to, keep in mind, we need to temper ourselves. That's ultimately what it is. Keep ourselves on course, not celebrating too soon, too quickly. So maybe just a reminder of that. And I want to turn this way because I was looking at it and I feel like I'm trying to figure out. Now we have a person who is kind of standing now, and this is kind of a departure from the original meaning here. And we have this person here, and then it looks almost like they're kind of jumping into the spiritual zone. And we have this figure that looks like it's running, kind of running in. And I think that this is maybe a separate being, but I do feel there is this shift, and it's a very obvious thing going on. This feeling of, and I look at this, it reminds me of kind of out of body experience pictures you'll see, like artistic renderings of what this might look like, the light body coming out of a sleeping body. And so I feel like from this side, it looks like going up into maybe that dream world, the astral plane. And I have this distinct feeling that there's almost like a trickster, at least something that is in this in a fast motion. It will not show itself completely to you, but I feel like there are images of some kind of guides appearing in these astral spaces or these dream spaces. And I think, you kind of, you're having these profound experiences. They're very symbolic. And I think that is carrying over into your waking life. And I feel like this is really very much part of this feeling of forward movement, of self-work. And I really do think that there's a lot of feeling of you're excited, you're excitable about this change that is occurring in your life. Do I think you should celebrate the little wins? The incremental kind of movements where, yes, for sure, please, I think just trying to stay focused. I think it's so easy for us to get ahead of ourselves on things. And I think that kind of, we start to wobble off of the path, right? And so I think it's a good time to stay focused on these dreams, visions, magical encounters. I think that this is a time where you are going to be doing some really intensive self-work. And I think that this is within that more spiritual paradigm, okay? And I think that this is really like a movement fully through this next gateway. This is kind of a spiritual rite of passage for you right now. I think that things are very much aligned to get you into this next part of your life. And I think that this is distinct, right? Because I know we had that big tower moment not too long ago, some months ago. And, I feel like, and this is often what I relate to the chariot, because we have that deep Cancer energy. It is that work, that pushing forward, getting through that gateway. And it is almost like when the levee breaks, right? When the dam bursts open, all of those emotional waters are just flooding out, okay? So I feel like this is a time where we're going to be going through some emotionality again, for sure. But then we have right here, it looks like a boat, okay, with the sail. And I do think that this is definitely, get ready for these emotional, buildups and outbursts and things like that. I think that, having a support system, having a plan for when you maybe are feeling a little bit overwhelmed by it, having a good cry, going outside, doing some primal screaming. I love the primal screaming. It is the one that I love to bring up. Now, I have to say, and I will admit this, it is something that I have to be more careful about because I do so many readings now. My voice will get very raw with all the screaming that I wish I could be doing. But, there have been times in my life where I just go outside right behind the garage and I will scream with all of my might. Let it out from the very core, from my base chakra all the way up. Let it out. Okay. And my goodness, I've seen recently, I saw somebody sent me a thing of a person that does muscle work. They have like a TikTok and I can't think of what the name is, but basically they are releasing energies through people's muscles, but the people are also crying. A lot of times they're laying down in beds with like blankets, but it's a release of old traumas. Okay, the things that we carry around in our bodies. Our body, there's that book, and people say this a lot now, that the body holds the score, right? Our body remembers the traumas, and we get all knotted up, inflexible, have trouble, getting these blockages out, these energy blockages out of ourselves, and they manifest as illnesses, physical illnesses. And so doing things like the screaming, the crying, right? Intentional movement to our level of ability. This is why ritual, postures, passes are like moving of hands. Mudras are positioning of hands. If you can think of, here's one I do a lot. Just like when I'm sitting, even I'm always like this, right? Okay, and that's like a yoni mudra, but different symbols with your hands, basically, and these are sacred positionings, but these are things that move energy through our bodies. Okay, and even if you've had trauma many years ago, in your childhood, pre-childhood, maybe you had a traumatic birth, these are things that people don't think about. We carry that stuff with us. We definitely do. You may not even know if you had a traumatic birth experience because your parents never talked about it. Nobody ever talked about it with you, but we carry it with us. We absolutely do. Okay. And so there are many, many ways, and you have to find things that speak to you, that feel helpful. You maybe are not a screamer. Maybe you don't want to go scream. I absolutely want to scream if I can, but there are ways to kind of move this energy through us, and getting that out is letting those emotional waters go, flow through you, out of you, purging that stuff, right? In its right time, of course. Don't force it. There's no right or wrong time to do things. But when it comes and it wants out, let it out. Okay? All right. Let's see. And I wanted to point this out. I saw this before, and we were talking about the dream work, the astral plane. I see a bed here. So absolutely, I think that this is going to be in when you're in a more unconscious state, dreaming. Now, If you are a person that does not remember their dreams very well, and these are simple things that anybody who talks about like lucid dreaming or recall or enhancing memory, these are techniques that are very simple, nothing complicated. Getting a pad of paper. I don't, some people say use your phone and put it on, write it on your phone real quick in the middle. I don't like to use the phone or iPad or anything because it has light on it and it wakes you up. So you can use like a pad of paper or your phone. I mean, if that's what you like, use it. Some people use the audio function, like a audio memo or whatever. You can tell I'm an old person. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But, making a recording of your voice instead of writing it down in the middle of the night, and you just are saying things. It can be right when you wake up in the morning as well. You don't have to wake yourself up, but writing down your impressions, whatever you can remember. Green, slimy, smelled sweet, like cinnamon and honey, these kinds of things. You writing this stuff down immediately. I saw my grandmother. She was, wading in a pool or something, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to have a narrative. Nobody's going to grade you on this. It's all about being able to think about more and more about the things that you bring back over into the waking world, the little details, okay? And this will help you as you do this, more consistently. While you're dreaming, you will begin to look for things to remember. You will start to analyze the environments you're in, the situations, the things that people say or don't say, the entities and feelings and, the sense things that are going on, all of this stuff. And it gets more and more detailed the longer you do it. Okay. And sometimes it takes years. Sometimes you just unlock it and all along you've been an astral traveler, so it really just depends. And I just did a big stretch, so I'm sorry. Oh, goodness. So, dream work, my favorite in the whole world. It's my favorite stuff to talk about. So we have a little goldfish right here. We have the beginning of prosperity. There is longevity here. I feel like this thing that we're moving into is going to take hold as really a new chapter in your life. Maybe even the whole new act. You're going into maybe like the second or third act of your life. And that is a beautiful thing. This is gearing up to be quite the rite of passage. Not just a gateway that you're moving through, but a rite of passage. We have a person up here looking up towards a celestial body. Get outside, look at the sky. Okay, I think that it's important that once in a while we go out there and we look at what is around us. We look up, we look, and we really look. Okay, both with our physical eyes and with our mind's eye. We have an airplane up here. Okay, so movement, definitely quick movement. And I think this has a lot to do with daydreaming as well. I think it is a perfect time with the eclipse coming, setting our intentions for this new era, this new cycle. So think about what it is you want to implement into this part of your life, okay? And make it happen, all right? Okay, so we have the Earthbound Oracle cards, and I'm just going to kind of flip through these and stop where it feels right. We're going to see how this punctuates the reading. Ooh, luck. I don't really like that, the rabbit's foot, but don't. I love my little rabbits outside so much. I don't know. But yes, the rabbit's foot symbolism. Luck. That's good. We have some good luck coming your way. Not going to poo-poo that at all. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And as we know, the algorithm kind of decides everything about everything. So we like to make it super duper 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 happy by giving it the engagement that it wants. And those are things like liking the video, sharing the video on other social media platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. They mean so much to me. And I just love getting to know all of you. I love feeling your energies. I love hearing about your lives. I love your insights. I just love everything about you. All right. Aries, we will talk again in just a few days. Have a most wonderful eclipse. I love you and goodbye.